immediately available to notify building management to provide access at that time.
Thank you. Does everyone understand what the exact wording is of this motion? Okay, we'll take a vote. All in favor of this proposed amendment, please signal with the hand and say aye. Opposed? Raise your hand and say nay, please. Nay. The motion is 2-2. The motion fails. Okay, we'll go to the next amendment. And Member Hamady, I think you have proposed amendments for 9, 10, and 11. And if you would kindly, in the advice of the council, we will take them individually, but if you want to explain what you're doing to each of them in one fell swoop, go ahead.
Well, I'll start with the first three. I have 3 amendments to the safety recommendations to Washington Gas. Like I said, I will speak about them collectively, but then I'll offer them separately. Okay, so first I offer a motion to amend recommendation number 9. So it will now read number 9. Throughout the Washington Gas network, implement an audit program to verify the data on the service forms used to determine the location and condition of mercury service regulators to ensure the accuracy of this safety critical data, period.
Okay, and that's your motion. So there's a motion. Is there a second? It's been moved by Member Hamady and seconded by Member Weiner. And discussion.
Thank you. I'm offering this amendment and the 2 subsequent amendments to make crystal clear that we are recommending that Washington Gas implement changes across their entire network, including Washington, D.C. and Virginia, not just Maryland. I feel it's important that all customers of Washington Gas be provided with the safest system, equipment, and service. And while earlier we do issue recommendations to public utility commissions in Maryland, but also Virginia and DC, I thought that it needed some clarification in the recommendations to Washington Gas that we mean the entire network.
Thank you very much. Further discussion? Questions? Mr. Hall, what would be staff's position on this?
Staff concurs with both amendments.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? Been moved and seconded. All in favor of Member Hamady's amendment to recommendation number 9, please signal with a hand and say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. The motion carries. The amendment has been adopted, and you have recommendation 10 amendment as well, I believe.
Thank you. I offer a motion to amend recommendation number 10 as follows. Number 10, and this is to Washington Gas. Number 10, revise your procedures and field forms to require technicians to verify the integrity of vent lines following the testing of indoor service regulators throughout the Washington Gas network, period.
There's a motion. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Vice Chairman Lansbury. Any discussion? Same rationale and
Staff concurs.
thank you. Further discussion? Seeing none. All in favor of amended recommendation 10 as just as moved and seconded, please signal with the hand and say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. The motion carries. Recommendation 10 has been amended. And now recommendation 11.
Thank you. My amendment to recommendation number 11 would read, number 11, establish a time frame with specific dates and milestones for the replacement of mercury service regulators throughout the Washington Gas network that recognizes the need to expedite this program and that prioritizes multifamily dwellings where mercury service regulators are located inside the property.
Thank you. Thank you. There's your motion. Is there a second for that? Member Weiner seconds. Any discussion?
Staff concurs.
Okay, thank you very much. All in favor of adopting, amending recommendation 11 as proposed, as moved and seconded? All in favor of that, please signal with a hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, there are none. Recommendation 11 has been adopted as amended. And Member Hamady, I believe you have an proposed amendment to recommendation 12.
Well, there's no 12, this would add 2 additional recommendations to Washington Gas. My amendments, these would be 2 new recommendations, number 12 and number 13, oh, sorry.
No, that's good, that's perfect. Go ahead and just do 12.
12
Yeah, perfect.
would read, it essentially mirrors the PHMSA recommendation, but specifically for Washington Gas. Number 12, install all new service regulators outside occupied structures, period.
Okay, that's a motion, and is there a second? It's been moved by Member Hamady, seconded by Vice Chairman Lansford. Any discussion? Let me see what we're doing here. Go ahead, any discussion?
Yeah, just to explain a little further, we make recommendations to PHMSA that all new service regulators should be installed outside occupied structures, and those recommendations are for PHMSA to issue a requirement, which would require gas distribution pipeline operators or just pipeline operators to install these new service regulators outside the occupied structures. So we don't go the next step of actually requiring that of Washington Gas, which PHMSA would be doing through regulation anyways. And my concern is that if rulemaking is delayed, these safety improvements aren't made, and that Washington Gas is already in the process of installing 125,000 additional mercury service regulators, so we would want to see those safety improvements now rather than having them go back and change them in the future.
So bottom line is you'd like to make sure that they're installed, everything is installed outside of occupied structure.
Yes.
And as you pointed out, that does mirror exactly the recommendation of PHMSA. Member Wynn. Mr. Hall.
Staff concurs.
No further discussion for number 12? None? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt a new recommendation to Washington Gas. All in favor, please signal with a hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, there are none. Recommendation, a new recommendation to Washington Gas has been adopted. And you have another proposal for Washington Gas.
Another recommendation for Washington Gas, the addition of number 13, relocate existing interior service regulators outside occupied structures whenever the gas service line, meter, or regulator is replaced. In addition, multifamily structures should be prioritized over single-family dwellings, period.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second? We have seconds and thirds on that, so, Member Weiner seconded that one. And to be very clear, that is an exact mirroring of what we're proposing for PHMSA. Is there any further discussion, or is there a discussion on that?
Staff concurs.
Great, it's been moved and seconded, no further discussion, all in favor of adopting the motion to add that new recommendation to Washington Gas, please signal with a hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, there are none. The new recommendation to Washington Gas has just been adopted. Now let's go back and adopt all of the recommendations that we have just, all of them, including those that we have just amended. Do I have a motion to do so? Vice Chairman has moved to adopt the recommendations as amended, and Member Hamady has seconded that. Any discussion about this? Seeing none, all in favor of adopting the recommendations as amended, please signal with a hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, there are none. The vote to pass the recommendations has passed unanimously. So we now move to the adoption of the final report. Does anyone have any additional issues to discuss related to this matter? Is there a motion to adopt the report as revised? Member Weiner has moved, Vice Chairman has seconded. All in favor of adopting the report as revised, please signal with a hand and say aye. Opposed or none, the report has been unanimously adopted. Do any members wish the right to file a concurring or dissenting statement?
Yes.
We have Member Hamady, we have Vice Chairman Lansford. Okay. So noted. In closing, I do want to thank the staff for your hard work. I know that this has been as Mr. Hall said, probably one of the most complex investigations that you've seen in your 40 years. I think I've fairly well characterized that. They're all complex, but the physical evidence was largely destroyed. So I want to thank the staff for your hard work on the investigation. I also want to thank Member Weiner, Vice Chairman Lansford, Member Hamady, for all of your preparation that goes into it. What the public may not realize is the staff, the board members do meet individually, one-on-one with staff beforehand to go over any concerns that they may have. And I know, I can tell from the questions that a lot of hard work has gone into this. So thank you for that, the good debate, the good discussion. Special thanks to Rachel Rotman, almost said that right, the investigator in charge who took over a year ago. So thank you for picking up the ball and carrying it to the goal line. I've always said though that nothing gets done around here with just one person. It takes an entire team. We have our support personnel. We have everybody helps this product come together. And so on behalf of my colleagues on the board, a sincere thank you not only to the investigative staff, but to the support program staff as well. As we all know, pipelines provide heating and cooking fuel to millions of homes and businesses throughout the nation. In fact, it fuels our nation's economy. But when pipelines fail, as we've seen today, the results can be tragic, as they were on the night of the explosion and fire in Silver Spring, Maryland. This agency's employees know that by the time they arrive at the accident site, nothing that they can do can stop the worst from happening. All that they and we on the board can ever do is to prevent the same thing from happening to others. Today's recommendations, if acted upon, will prevent such tragedies through system-wide improvements to equipment and procedures. We stand adjourned.